The study of the field of ray optics is often called as geometrical optics because the study is riddled with the concepts of geometry. Now herein a particular question has been given. We have been asked to find the angle theta at which the mirrors should be inclined to each other such that a ray that is incident on one of the mirrors but parallel to the second mirror. So let us say this is M1 and this is M2. Okay, this is a ray R1. So R1 is parallel to M2 and incident on M1. Gets reflected from M1 first, then from M2, and then goes parallel to the mirror M1. So this final reflected ray R2 is parallel to the mirror M1. So we have been asked the angle theta at which the mirrors should be inclined for such a situation to happen. So let us say we understand that this is a normal and this is a normal. We understand that R2 is parallel to M1. That means if this angle is theta, by corresponding angles, this angle is also going to be theta. The angle of incidence, let us say, is I. The angle of reflection is also I in that context. And this angle happens to be then 90 minus I. Let us say this angle of incidence is I dash. Then this angle happens to be 90 minus I dash. This angle happens to be I dash as well, and this angle happens to be theta. So it is clear from this particular diagram that 90 minus I dash is equal to theta. So we know that in this particular triangle, let us say if I were to draw the triangle shown over here like so, then this angle is theta. So this angle I am representing over here as theta. So this angle is theta. Alright. Also, since this angle is theta, this angle also happens to be theta, and by similar logic 90 minus I is also going to be equal to theta, just like 90 minus I dash is equal to theta. That means this angle also happens to be theta. So this angle also happens to be theta, so this triangle happens to be an equilateral triangle. Therefore, we get 90 minus I is equal to 60 degree, which is one of the angles of the equilateral triangle. That means I is equal to 30 degree and theta is equal to 60 degree. So we were tasked to find out theta, and thus we have found out theta. So we can understand that in this particular example we have purely used the rules of geometry, the rules of parallel lines, the rules of corresponding angles, and the laws of reflection, which essentially say that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So more often we will find that in geometrical optics or ray optics, we'll have to abide by the rules of geometry and employ the various geometrical theorems of 2D plane coordinate geometry and regular geometry in the Euclidean domain in order to understand ray optics from the basics.